Moving into goal 2, where we'll be using a second outbreak Microreact project that is a similar subset of the surveillance project. This outbreak contains 40 Cleb pneumo isolates collected between July 2022 and August 2023 in Colombia. The following information gives context on the overall background of this outbreak. Epidemiologists observed an increase in Cleb pneumo cases in July and August of 2023. After subsequent investigation, they identified 36 patients treated at several regional hospitals and clinics in Cartagena with lab-confirmed Cleb pneumo. Before introducing the second Microreact project, know if you ever get lost or confused on what project you are supposed to be working in, the correct project will always be linked at the bottom of the slide. The following information dives deeper into the background on these cases. Approximately half of these patients presented with UTIs, although a variety of other infection types were also seen, including 3 sepsis cases. 1 colony from each culture-confirmed case was used for bacterial DNA extraction and sequencing. Epi investigations revealed that over half of the culture-confirmed cases were elderly residents at a long-term care facility called Casa Geriatrica Pazzi Salud, which was an old renovated hotel formerly known as Holiday Inn Cartagena. This suggested that the long-term care facility was the central point of transmission for this outbreak. Whole genome sequencing, or WGS results, revealed that all 36 Cleb pneumo cases were all the same sequence type, ST258, which was classified as the outbreak strain. Long-term care facility management denied the outbreak could have spread within their facility and stated regular deep cleaning of the resident's home was taking place. EPIs, IPs, and environmental health specialists performed a site visit to investigate the possibility of Cleb pneumo environmental contamination at the facility. At the bottom of this slide is a map of the long-term care facility, formerly the Holiday Inn. Lab testing revealed 2 out of 13 environmental water samples collected were culture positive for K pneumo, which immediately prompted the closure of 2 residential rooms. 1 colony from each water sample was sequenced, after which a comparative genomic analysis was performed between the clinical and environmental isolates. Next up is goal 2, which is applying genomic results to outbreak investigations. We're going to use the second project called the Cleb pneumo Casa Geriatrica Pazzi Salud Microreact Outbreak Project. A quick tip to make sure you're on the correct project is if you're following along at home, you can verify the name in the top left of the project we want. F-Trial Cleb Training is the name of the project. Another way to double check what project you are on is by looking at the number at the top. The project you should be working on has 40 isolates. To identify the hospital that reported the first outbreak-associated case, a helpful hint is to start by looking at the timeline view.
Right, here we are in Microreact. We're in the F-Trial Club Training project up here in the top left. Another way to check is you can see we have 40 out of 40 isolates selected. So only 40 as opposed to the, almost 1,500 in this surveillance project. So we want 40 in F-Trial Club Training. So this farthest left case in the metadata, you can hover over and see the hospital name there is Clínica La Emerita de Cartagena. Or another way to get to the same answer is if you were to click this farthest left bar, it gets selected in the metadata here. I'm going to full screen it just so I can see better. And then here you can get that same answer, the hospital Clínica La Emerita de Cartagena. As we just saw, the first outbreak-associated case was from Clínica La Emerita de Cartagena. For task 2, you'll want to determine the age and gender of the patient with the earliest specimen collection date. To do this, we recommend general view. All right, similarly to the first task in this goal, if we click on that same furthest left bar, it will highlight the metadata here. We'll full screen that and scroll over to see our first case here. There's a 79-year-old male. Once we have this individual selected in the metadata block here, if you wanted to figure out, for example, the age range of these, outbreak associated cases, you could scroll through this, line list for all intents and purposes, and manually calculate, the age range. However, it'd be a lot easier. We scroll over a little bit in this funnel here next to age. It automatically gets rid of duplicate ages and makes it in chronological order for you. So very easy to tell. The age range is 70 to 99. Like we just saw, the first case was a 79-year-old male with ages ranging from 70 to 99. The last task for this goal is to determine which hospital location in Cartagena has the most cases. To do so, use the general view and turn on scale markers. Here we are on the general view. I'm going to put these views away so it gives us a little more room to work with. I'm going to come here to the configure icon on the map, markers, and turn on scale markers. And that makes the dots correspond to how many cases there are. So we can hover over these dots to get a sense of how many cases there are. So, you can see 7 there, 3, 9, 7. So I think 9 is the biggest dot I see. So if you click on that and come over here into the metadata, we can see this hospital is Hospital El Pazón. As we just saw, Hospital El Pazón with 9 cases is the answer.